What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a brand new Madden 25 franchise rebuild of the New Orleans Saints. I've been looking around the league, paying attention in the preseason. I mean, the Saints are not in a great spot. They haven't really been in a great spot since Drew Brees left, and they need a lot of work, and I feel like they're a perfect team to come in and rebuild, especially with what we've saw during the preseason. But the state of the New Orleans Saints right now, you got Derek Carr. There's no way around it. Having Derek Carr at the money that they're paying him is not winning football. Face of the offense is really at his expiration date for a running back. Now, I'm not selling. I'm not fading Alvin Kamara. Personally, I'm going to try to target him in my fantasy league. But 29-year-old running backs are never great to have them almost as like the sole focal point of your offense. Luckily, it's not all doom and gloom. Chris Olave looks like an exceptional wide receiver. 24 years old, started at 86 overall, and the skills to back it up. But back to the negatives, just to try to sell you on why this is such an intriguing rule. Derek Carr, not good. Alvin Kamara, near the end. Taysom Hill, great utility player, ugly contract. What's going on with Ryan Ramczyk? The highest rated lineman on this team. Is he retiring? Is he capable of playing in the NFL? I got to figure out how I'm going to proceed with that here in this rebuild. And it doesn't get any better when you go to the defensive side of the ball. Cam Jordan is closer out the door than he is his peak of football. Maybe get a year or two. Demario Davis, the X Factor at linebacker, probably closer to retirement than he is his peak. Might be able to get a year or two. Same with the Honey Badger at free safety. These are all players that for a 5-year rebuild in particular, just because that's what we're doing here today, they're not going to be here. Probably beyond year 2. Those are the studs of this defense. You got Chase Young, who you look at it, okay, still a superstar dev. That's a little surprising, but he's only on a 1-year rental. And our salary cap situation kind of still sucks. So there's no automatic guarantee that even if he plays well, that I can afford to pay him. And then you go look at some of the youth that they brought. Yeah, you know, Lattimore's still here. They got Kool-Aid McKinstry in the draft. At tackle on the offense, they got Fuaga in the draft. Not bad. But generally, drafting has not been well here for the Saints either. You have Brian Brzee, who I am definitely still going to try to develop in this. I was a big fan of him coming out of Clemson, but hasn't set the world on fire. You got Isaiah Foskey, can't snip the field. You got Peyton Turner, who's another high-round pick. What has he done? So all in all, the Saints roster is in a complete need of a rebuild. And I'll tell you right now, they were on the short list of teams that I was going to use as like my main franchise rebuild throughout this season. I ultimately just, I'm gonna be honest, I went with Justin Jefferson, the Vikings. I was the tiebreaker. And if you missed the last episode of that series, Justin Jefferson totally did not break his arm on the first play of the second game of the season on a run play. Off ball. He did not do that. If you haven't seen that, trust me. But the reason why we're rebuilding the Saints here and our influence from the preseason, Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler looked the part in the preseason. The former 5-star recruit, had to bounce around college, was the next big thing in Oklahoma. He was there with Caleb Williams, so ultimately had to go find his own path, transfer to South Carolina, and the good was good and the bad was bad. He's a highly volatile player, but when he's good, he looks like a 5-star franchise quarterback. When he's bad, it's Daniel Jones, you know, what are we doing here type plays. But I think, and it makes the Saints very interesting, if they could take a guy like this, who, perception, if you watch the QB1 series on Netflix, he was an absolute douchebag. Like the worst of the worst. Oh, you can't root for that guy. Borderline, you hope he fails. Over and over and over and over again. But time has mended that. And now we have a quarterback here that has a pretty decent skill set. Showed out during the preseason, and I would imagine that there is quite a few New Orleans Saint fans that want to see this guy play sooner than later. So that is what we're going to do here in today's rebuild. It might not ever come to fruition. Not to spoil if you haven't watched our Arizona Cardinals rebuild, but in that rebuild, we kind of said, hey, we got Kyler Murray, let's turn his career around. And then at some point, we had to decide, probably about year 3 of the rebuild, it wasn't working out. We can't just force this issue. We need to find a way to win a Super Bowl. We had to move off Kyler Murray. Similar will be here with Spencer Rattler. I'm going to try. It'd be dope if he plays really well, can start going up dev traits, can clearly become a franchise quarterback that can lead us to a Super Bowl. But if it doesn't work, We got to remain fluid at that quarterback spot, remain flexible, and we'll see what he can do. But I am going to give him the first chance to prove that he could be our starting QB. As I said, the last piece before we can really get in this rebuild is Ryan Ramczyk. He's on the PUP, even though in this game he's not currently injured. But it sounds like he has like a knee issue. Like he got the Todd Gurley, the Jay Ajayi, where it's like his knee is absolutely mangled. And he might not ever play again. But he's not playing this season. So in the spirit of trying to keep things in line, I'm not saying I'm going to retire him. I'm not saying I'm going to get rid of him. But at least for 2024, he'll sit. We'll move the revolving door Trevor Penning to right tackle. My God, look at the way the board shatter. Somehow, some way, my analytics say 90 throw power is outright disrespectful, and that is an error. Under the hood, Spencer Rattler has much higher than 90 throw power. Some say it's closer to 95. Did you see that? That first board absolutely dusted it. Look at that! It's going 30 feet in the air. Generational run here. Look at the way he's moving in the pocket. Boom. He's like Taysom Hill, Drew Brees. Come on, we gotta get at least silver here. So we are crushing this. Boom, boom. Look at the footwork. This guy is a machine. Center ring. Center ring, baby. Come on. Boom. Oh, you missed it outright. You can't do that. Oh my God, that cost us by $100. God damn it. Hey, right now, who's not messing around? Flogga, the new bodyguard for Spencer Rattler. Maybe the new successor for Ryan Ramczyk. We came out and said, hey, are you going to be a dangerous player? And he said, yes, sir. I will just say here real quickly as I upgrade our players from training camp. The plan is, obviously, I'm still trying to find a balance between upload schedule, between Madden and college football content. And I actually have been working on a Georgia Tech rebuild. And I do think the order of some of the college football rebuilds will go off of maybe upsets and exciting teams that show and prove themselves in college on a week-to-week basis, much like Georgia Tech did in week 0 against Florida State. However, those are 10-year rebuilds, and I've been working on it for a day and a half, and like I can't go 2 days of an upload. I can get like 3 Madden rebuilds done in the same time frame as a college football rebuild. So that is why we're doing the Saints one now. It's a good plan to have this come up a little bit later in the week. But ideally, once we get into the rhythm, it's the final week of summer vacation. My son was like, hey, can we go mini putting? Can we go see a movie? And I'm not gonna be like, nah, I gotta do another 8 years with Georgia Tech in the basement all day. So last week and a half of summer, I think once everything goes back to school, we'll get into a more clear upload schedule. But between college football rebuilds, Madden rebuilds, Vikings franchise, our college football offensive coordinator dynasty, I'm going to get in a good upload schedule with that. Just bear with me. It's the end of the summer, and I got to be a Papa Bear here. For our season goal here in year number 1, I think it'll be hard pressed for me to ever start a video with 4, even though maybe that's a little reasonable with the rookie sub 70 overall quarterback, but I still think we have enough veterans. Again, that's the downside of this roster, is that we're not necessarily in a complete rebuild. We got some veterans who can give 7 wins. I will say, however, that if we are at, the week before the trade deadline, week 6, week 7, we start to see that this season's not going the way we like it, we might need to trade certain veterans while the value is still there. Holy shit, we're on a roll. So 7-3, I was like, all right, that's ugly. It's the Panthers. That's an unwatchable game. But Dallas is probably going to smoke us. We beat the Cowboys 17-7. With a unreal performance by Demario Davis. 8 tackles, an interception, 1 forced fumble, 2 recoveries. And then we just beat the Eagles. Tell you what, if we beat the Chiefs week 5, something's going on. We're on a 2-game losing streak. All is right in the world. At least for where this team's at in a rebuild. But it's given me enough to think about that. Like, I don't know if we have to be sellers. I was thinking right away, Honey Badger, Demario Davis. I would keep Cam Jordan just at a sentimental value, but I do feel like Davis and Honey Badger could be pieces moved and not face a lot of backlash from Saints fans. But we're competitive right now. I mean, we still got Let's go one more week. I know we're just going to kind of skip everything here. Like, do we win again? Are we back? So we're on a losing skid, 3-3. Okay, here will be the true test. 0-6 Denver. If we win this one, that means we could probably clang and bang and fight. If we lose, great English, I think I'd fire sale my team. Now, maybe we'll kick the tires and see what kind of value's out there, but I don't think I'm going to have to sell these guys at pennies on the dollar just to get, you know, some third-round draft picks. But if we get some good value, we'll see. And that victory, Demario Davis, I don't think we can get, I mean, it's one of those things, I don't think we can get rid of him. He's won Defensive Player of the Week twice in 2 of our biggest wins, but also might have his value at an all-time high. All right, so for the Honey Badger, we got some interesting offers here. Some that are completely unrealistic, some that are. We got the Denver Broncos. So Sean Payton liked what he saw. We got Marvin Mims, who'd be our wide receiver 3, even though I do like A.T. Perry, but a 22-78 start of, and we get a second-round pick is pretty good offer. The couple I don't think there'd be a chance in hell we would get offered. It just kind of is the nature of the business. But this one's interesting too. Jair Brown, Niners looking for more of a veteran presence back there. Brown, I think, could easily play free safety. 77 start out. We also still get that second-round pick, and that is for this upcoming draft. A second and a third from the 49. Got the Packers offering Jaden Reed and a second-round pick. I like this one too. We do not have a long-term play at tight end right now. All due respect to Juwan Johnson. Michael Mayer is now surplus, potentially, with the Vegas Raiders drafting Brock Bowers. And we get a second-round pick this year. For Honey Badger, I mean, let's be honest, Honey Badger, 91, he's still one of the best safeties in the game. Versatility is there. This one probably makes the most sense. This one or the Broncos offer. Let's do it. And we got Juwan Johnson, who's in a contract year, now become a little bit surplus because of Michael Mayer. And we're pretty much getting offered fringe pieces. Colts, we're getting their wide receiver 4 and Alec Pierce. A.J. Dillon. I don't hate that. It's younger. He's younger than every other running back. I think this might be the one we want to take. Titans trying to get any value they possibly can for a bust in Treylon Burks. But for our perspective, he still has a dev trait. Maybe he could turn his career around here. But Demario Davis is the one I'm least likely to trade for how well he's played this season. And there's a 35-year-old. It's got to be very tough to get a somewhat realistic. Like these just would never happen. Yeah, no, we'll keep Demario Davis. He survives the chopping block. He's going to continue to lead this defense with Cam Jordan. So we'll get creative with the defense now. I'm going to move the Cookie Monster, Alante Taylor, to free safety. He's an all-in-out defensive back coming out of Tennessee. So we're going to put him there. Here's now a look at our offense with the moves. Treylon Burks is going to start with us. Michael Mayer is going to start. And, of course, we have Penning playing instead of Ramczyk. But hopefully Ryan Ramczyk can return next season. Go to Mexico. Maybe come back stronger than ever. On the defensive side, after moving on from Honey Badger, we're going to move Alante Taylor to free safety. But the safety room, I mean, it'd be real nice if one of a Pete Werner or Alante Taylor maybe could sneak in a dev trade upgrade. Oh, we're rolling, man. These moves have lit a spark on this team. We beat the Chargers. Get another Player of the Week performance. It's Alvin Kamara turning back the clock with the hat trick. 3 touchdowns on 75 yards rushing. And the press conference, we're going to talk about a defensive back breakout. It'd be pretty cool if that's Alante Taylor making the move to safety. It's Paulson Adebo, the star dev corner. We'll go medium goal. Still have no idea why in this situation you'd want a hard goal, but we'll go medium with a chance that if he gets 4 tackles and 2 PBUs, he'll become a superstar corner. Oh, man, how are the Saints we have a 68 overall quarterback. It's been the defense, a lot of it. Willie Gay gets Defensive Player of the Week. We'll talk about this breakout. And then we got a DL breakout. And then we'll look at some contracts. So Adebo had some flashes. Defense did. So this is classic. Did not hit it, but maybe we'll get a little bit of XP because we won the matchup. There we go. All right, silver lining. Oh, this is going to be a crazy one. Chase Young, already a superstar. And we're going to try to swing for the fences for an X factor in season before I sign a contract extension as well. So unfortunately, we lose to the Falcons with a Chase Young breakup, but we play really good defense, only giving up 13 points. And the wrong DN went off. Well, at least Chase Young came to the office, and we talked about it. We hashed things out, and we got him some nice XP. Before we talk contracts, a monumental moment for our starting quarterback as Spencer Rattler. Oh, I thought he was going to become a 70 overall. God damn me, trying to make him a scheme fit. I'd want to keep Chase Young. I'd want to keep Adebo. I'd want to keep Rashid. Yeah. $32 million in the red. So, yeah. We ended up winning 2 in a row to finish year 1, 10-7. It was Spencer Rattler. I mean, look at that. We have great rushing defense, solid overall defense, a top 10 passing offense with a quarterback that has been sub 70 overall. Demario Davis, player of the week on the defensive side of the ball, like 3-4 times this season at 35 years old, is awesome. And let's see, do we have any big upgrade boosts? Oh, let's go. Spencer Rattler, 4 skill points. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're going to go right into making him the perfect scheme fit here for this offense. There we go. Now he's a perfect scheme fit. Help with the XP a little bit. +4 play action. Let's get a throw power here. Let's bump that throw power. We saw during that opening training drill in camp, he was setting those targets 50. They were going into space at that point. And I think we need to get off that 90 throw power. But I will definitely take 4 upgrade points here. At the end of what, you know, even statistically, if it's not that good, we're going to put the C on his chest. And a rookie quarterback making and leading a not great roster to the playoffs, that is a success within itself. Looking at the stats this year, Spencer Rattler, top 10 in passing yards, just outside the top 10 in touchdowns. Ooh, 18 picks. Gross. That is not great. That might honestly hurt him in the discussion because saw everything else. Like, oh, Jesus. Offensive rookie of the year is a layup. 18 picks is a lot. Alvin Kamara went over 1,000 yards. Rattler with 250. So we got about 4,000 yards. So that's cool. Jamal Williams got 7 vultures there. Chris Olave, hell of a year. I put him in the slot. Not necessarily to say take advantage of slot cheese. I just thought this year was going to be the lowest of the lows for this offense. So let's try to put Olave in the best position possible to make plays. And clearly that was the right call. 82 catches, almost 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Rashid Shaheed, who's going to free agency, 500 yards. We have 5-5 from Michael Mayer, almost 5-5 from Treylon Burks. Definitely want to see a little bit more out of Alvin Kamara in the passing game. Remember when Sean Payton was here? And like every season, Alvin Kamara would have like 800 yards receiving. That was cool. Demario Davis clearly getting game ball. MVP of the team this season. 117 tackles, 6 TFLs, 4 interceptions, over 100 for Willie Gay. We got 12 TFLs, 10.5 sacks from Brian Brzee, the former first-round pick last year. That is what we need to see. 8 sacks from Granderson, 6 from Cam Jordan, 2.5 from Chase Young. So I suppose technically, I mean, from a roster standpoint, he is an 87 superstar, 88 superstar at 25 years old. You want to keep that in the building, but it doesn't look like there's any way, unless we could somehow move mountains and get Derek Carr's contract out the book, that we're going to be able to afford him. So at least the on-field production, it's not like we're losing 12, 13 sacks. He barely did anything, and he started for us every game this season. Interception numbers, though, look real nice. Lattimore with 5, 4 for Davis, 4 for Adebo. Happy with those numbers. I think Dennis Allen is one of the worst coaches in the league. But in the context of what we accomplished, he probably should have won Coach of the Year. Chris Olave in the top 10 for Offensive Player of the Year, which is not the easiest to do as a wide receiver. And the interceptions definitely hurt Spencer Rattler, 7th in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. Close but no cigar, Marshawn Lattimore, runner-up for DB of the Year. With all that, we have found a way to sneak into the playoffs against the Minnesota Vikings. Expectations, I thought we'd have 7 wins this year, and we go ahead and beat the Vikings in the first round of the playoffs. Brian Brzee, 8 tackles and a sack, and clearly we're getting carried by the defense in the regular season and in the playoffs. As we defeat the Vikings 30-21 in a matchup where, wow, Rattler, Protected the football to find a positive. 4 rushing touchdowns. We're just playing old school. We get Olave when he needs to. We get defense when we need it. We get turnovers when we need it. And we got the beasts of the NFC. Dallas Cowboys. Tough. What? I never deceive the people, but just no forces, nothing. We beat the Vikings. We beat the Cowboys. All right. And you know what? To be fair, look at our salary cap. We're $32 million over. Clearly, we have spent to get a roster that's clearly all in. So why not a year 1 NFC Championship game with Spencer Rattler as a rookie as our quarterback? 1 win. Damn, we lost. That would have been funny. That would have been an all-timer. Hey, remember when we won the Super Bowl with the Saints? Year 1 with the garbage raw, and yeah, we just got absolutely cooked. I will say Rattler didn't really help us. His play is 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. I think we have 1 passing touchdown in 3 playoff games. He's trying with the Joe Flacco Ravens approach to winning. We're gonna need a lot more out of the kid. The Super Bowl wasn't the Chiefs or the Cowboys, so there's a positive. And looking at our dev traits, thought we had a chance with Rattler to potentially get off that normal dev up to a star. Just too many interceptions. So I can't complain too much about that. Everything else remains the same offensively. Fuaga was hidden dev, and it is just a start. Defensively, Davis, old man Davis, keeps his I mean, he played that well. That even at 35-36, shouldn't have regressed. He was outstanding. Willie Gay goes from normal up to a star. Kool-Aid McKinstry was hidden dev, and it unveiled as a star. I thought Brian Brzee had a chance to go up to superstar. Had a great season, but ultimately not too bad regression. But this offseason got to be rough with our salary cap situation, so we're gonna have to crush the draft. We say bye to an absolute legend as Cam Jordan retires after 14 seasons. And even though there's a massive penalty, you still got $30 million in savings. Why did the Saints ever think this was a good idea? I don't know. And logically, it would make sense to probably get rid of Alvin Kamara. That is a lot of potential savings. Oh, I don't want to do this, though. He's still good. You know what? I think we release him and then try to bring him back at a lower number. Taysom Hill, another one where it's just, you know, come on. What are these contracts on this team? What are we talking about? We got ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. $49 million. We're going to pick up the 5th-year option of Chris Olave. We're going to decline Treylon Burks. He's going to have to earn it. We're going to decline Trevor Penning. He's going to have to earn it. Oh, man, we got some tough calls here. Willie Gay played well, went up dev trade, and he's interested. But Adebo and Young. We'll go with Debo first. So player friendly. I think we can bump that up 4 and 6, 4 years, $40 million. There we go. And we'll swing it for Young. Makes it a little bit more reasonable. Production wasn't there, but Cam Jordan just retired. So essentially we're moving like Cam Jordan's money onto a player that clearly has some upside. Didn't lose his superstar, even though he did not play particularly well. Hopefully he takes it. I think this will be my best offer. 4 years, $100 million. Let's go. We have no money to even look into free agency. We need to clearly stop spending and handing out terrible contracts. However, I know he's a Saints legend, and I said I would offer him at a lower money, so I will try and bring back Alvin Kamara. Let's go. All right, it's draft time, and a little bit of a bummer that we're picking at 29. I was hoping we'd have a higher pick, but we do have the 2nd round pick from one of the trades, so we have a 1st and 2 seconds, and I have a board I kind of want to follow. We got some athletes. This is going to be an athlete draft. So we need running back. We didn't get a great role for the running backs. And we got Alvin Kamara back on a 1-year deal, but it is obviously, or a 2-year deal, sorry. So a little bit of legs there. But at wide receiver, I think that's a need. We lost Rashid Shaheed, and we got LaMarcus Norman. B deep route running, B release, 1st round talent, elite speed. I mean, we don't even have to look much further. That is as slam dunk, hang in the rim shatters, shack attack type draft pick that I'm going to make 9 times out of 9. And that's what we need. We need to see a depth trait, though. Combine that good. And I'll tell you what, there's a couple linebackers that look real good, too. And we need probably 2 linebackers. Mary Davis might only have 1 more year. But we're focused on the wide receiver. Number 8 in true value. We get him at pick 29, 96 speed, 96 agility, 96. Let's go. We have 2 picks in the second round. I think I'm going to go Larimore. I need a safety. Did not get a great roll on our safety scouting. Beverly looks like he could be solid. B-man, B-hit power, C-zone. Decent combine, not great. If he's... You know what, though? He's probably... The linebacker still should be there. Larimore. And there's a lot of depth at middle linebacker. Patterson, Chamberlain, Felder, Shelton, Arnau, and Randall. I'd be fine drafting any and all those guys, say in the 3rd round if they're still there. All big-time athletes, 4-5 speed type players. I think we'll go safety first because there's the higher chance that he gets drafted. Try to come back, get that linebacker. So we'll go Beverly here. We don't need to watch everyone. All right, number 50 in true value. Get him at 44. Doesn't have NFL speed. Oh, that is not that fast, but we do get a dev trait. Not bad. We'll probably go with him and Alante Taylor as our starting safeties this year. We'll trust our scouting. Dwayne Larimore, you are a potential starter and or understudy for Demario Davis. What are we getting here? 66 in true value. So we're not getting absolute steals, but we're getting stacking dev traits, which you can't be too mad about that. And the last of my blind, we're going to go with the speedy running back. Give us some juice behind Alvin Kamara. This is a value pick, 87. And hey, there we go, technically. Oh, no. Dev trait. I mean, pretty bad acceleration. 94 speed is nice. So I feel pretty good about this draft. We had to make some tough calls, and we got starters, dude. We got good value. We got Brandon Babineau at pass rush out of Cincinnati. Not brutal rating. Solid depth, rotational type player. We got Ware, the wide receiver out of Florida State, 74. No dev trait, slot player. More depth to that position because, you know, we didn't pick up the 5th-year option on Treylon Burks. Ross, 71 normal. Larimore, 72 with the dev trait. Big-time athlete, 87 speed, 80. So he's probably going to start at left. I'll probably have him, honestly, I'd probably, upside is higher than Pete Werner. So he'll likely be our second starting linebacker with Demario Davis in nickel. We got Beverly, 73 with a hidden dev trait, and the big get 75 on LaMarcus Norman, who is likely going to be our wide receiver 2 this year. All right, so going into year 2, very quickly, lay of the land here. We got Norman, first round pick, going to be a slot wide receiver. Ramczyk is back in the lineup healthy, and with that, we move Trevor Penning to that left guard spot. Maybe he's a guard and not a tackle. Very optimistic that both Michael Mayer and Treylon Burks, who we traded for last year, are going to have nice little revivals here and be critical players for this team going forward. Defensively, lacking a little bit of D-tackle. Isaiah Foskey is, I'm just having him part of that rotation more as an interior pass rusher, but he would get absolutely abused against the runs. He's like 250. But maybe they'll get him some snaps, but definitely need a long-term D-tackle next to Breezy, who was our most impressive defensive lineman last season. Larimore and Davis are going to be our primary linebackers. Beverly gets to start at free safety with the Cookie Monster, Alante Taylor. At strong safety, Adebo, Lattimore, McKinstry. I mean, this is a good team. This is a really, really solid team. It's going to be so solid that we're actually going to hop on the sticks here for week number 1 and just get in on the ground floor with Spencer Rattler, see how good he is. So that come year 5, when hopefully he's an X factor and lighting the league on fire, we'll know how far we came. And we start week 1 on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, winnable matchup in the division. We saw that defense. Our defense is impressive. And we're not worried about Baker Mayfield and old-ass Mike Evans. It's the Spencer Rattler era. Oh, right there. To Olave in the red zone. That is an outstanding opening drive. Maybe quiet the crowd up here a little bit. Very weird playbook. A lot of short throws. Honestly, this might be like a decent playbook for like a cupcake offense. Oh, we got, hey, let's go, Michael Mayer. And it's been ruthlessly efficient from the Saints. This could be good. Tampa Bay was able to respond, countered our lead, but I think we might be able to float this one in between the corner and the safety to Michael Mayer. Oh, they kind of read it, so we'll take the drop off, dump off, whoever the hell that is. Come on, Norm. We got the first round pick in the slot. Burner. 96 speed, 96 acceleration. And he should get matched up against a linebacker. Float that. That's, whoa, that's a tough grab. We're gonna let Alvin Kamara, the veteran, hopefully finish this one off. Runs in, Vita Vea. Don't matter. Maybe Olave. Maybe Mayer. I'd like to get this to Olave. Boom. Easy. That's what a 90 overall wide receiver can do for you in the red zone. Not a bad showing from Spencer Rattler. That's a hell of a way to start the year. 42-21. The Saints are looking to make another playoff run this season. Ooh, let's go. A breakout at the quarterback spot for our normal dev, Spencer Rattler. That's been like popping off or anything. It's not like he has any offensive player of the week type performances, but shouldn't have to be like lighting the league on fire. You should be playing well to have an opportunity, if you're a starting normal dev quarterback, to go out there and prove it and get yourself up to a star dev. So we got 300 yards passing and one or few interceptions. I mean, we remember last year's playoff run. I think he went over 300 yards once. So this is not necessarily a layup, but it'd be really helpful if we did. Let's see it live into the flesh, man. We win 29-17. This is where you'd love to just see like player of the week, Spencer Rattler, so you know you get it. But 29 was 30 points. I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to hit the dev trait scenario on our quarterback here. Brutal. He's even close. 179 yards. All right, we lose to Atlanta in the return game. Go to 6-4. Still not in a brutal spot, but we have another opportunity against the Jets. It looks like Spencer Rattler stringing a few nice games. It's been fun to watch. I agree, Scott Anderson. But can we please not fail two normal to star dev scenarios? No, we just get 4,500 XP. Cool. So with that XP, we are able to upgrade. I'm just going strong arm to try to chase a throw power increase. We've yet to get any. He started with 90. Everything else gone up. Come on. Go to the same supplement place that Ramchick went to get his knees, feeling in his knees back. Put that right into your arm, right into your shoulder. Ooh, I don't want to swat. I think I just saw something. We're upgrading our players from the 2025 draft class. Norman, the first round pick at wide receiver, LaMarcus Norman, the burner, who I would draft 10 times out of 10, also gets himself a superstar dev trait. Ooh, we got another one. Defensively, Beverly, the safety, hit a dev star, but Larimore, the linebacker, double A's, pass coverage, 2 superstars in our first draft. We need that. All right, we'll stop here at week 14 just because we got a lot of things we got to talk about. Contracts. We have another talk about breakout after putting 40 on the Rams, and it's Spencer Rattler. So I guess it is kind of cool with this new storyline system that we absolutely whiffed on Spencer Rattler's dev trait, but now we've had multiple times we're just sitting down talking and they're just throwing XP at us. And for the second time this rebuild, Paulson Adebo is looking at jumping up to a superstar. I think 1 interception is kind of tough. So let's go 4 tackles, 2 PBUs. That could very well be doable here against the 49ers. All right, let's see. We lost to the Niners, unfortunately. But did Paulson Adebo? Oh, yeah, baby. He's looking good. You know, he didn't have the game he wanted. Brutal. Okay. Spencer Rattler just keeps calling us. But it feels like every time we pick up that phone, he's getting a little bit better. So we have another potential breakout. Can you speak to the development of Spencer Rattler? Well, he's been fun to watch. We know there's potential. Get Spencer Rattler 325 total yards and 2 touchdowns for a dev trade increase. Oh, man. Come on, it's a layup. You get a breakout scenario, and you get the Cardinals in your matchup. I mean, there's a chance he got it, but I don't. Oh, God damn it. The good news is our superstar linebacker just hit a milestone for himself. 100 tackles in a season, +4. That's some salary contracts here. We have $73 million, so it's a breath of fresh air for the Saints to finally have some salary cap. I would be in on Burks if the interest was there. It's not a brutal contract, but we just drafted a superstar wide receiver, and I really think best course of action for a team that has bad salary cap habits, even though we're now in control, is not to pay our third receiving option. Trevor Penning has been a bust in every sense of the word, but that's still not brutal. Could just draft a guard. See if we'll take that. If not, no. All right. No. Best of luck elsewhere. Get the Cookie Monster. Maybe if you went up depth trip, he's starting to get a little old. But Demario Davis, absolute legend. We'll have you till you retire. So we close out year 2. Ugly record, but made the playoffs. That's all you can ask. Of course, side out to pay him. Week 18 Defensive Player of the Week goes to the Cookie Monster, Alontae Taylor, 10 tackles, 2 interceptions. Doesn't mean we can go back on our word. Still have another chance to re-sign him. He's playing well. Statistically, for Spencer, I mean, what? Yeah, that'll do. 4,200 yards, 40 touchdowns. And he cut his interceptions almost in half. Yep. Okay. Alvin Kamara, we kind of knew what we were getting with Alvin Kamara when we decided to re-sign him. Chris Olave went nuclear. Norman, the superstar, went nuclear for a rookie. That might be offensive rookie of the year. 980 yards, 13 touchdowns, almost 1,500 yards, 9 tutties for Olave, 8 and 5 for Burks, 670 and 10. I mean, Burks might have earned himself a contract. I might have to go back my word and throw some money at Burks and Alontae Taylor. Alontae Taylor led the team with 4 picks, over 100 tackles Davis, 100 tackles for our superstar linebacker Larry Moore, 11.5 sacks from Breezy, 20 TFLs, 8 sacks from Chase Young. So we're getting great return on investment after last year, where he didn't really earn himself a new contract, but sacks off of that would pretty much fall off a cliff. Alontae Taylor, 4 picks, 3 for McKinstry. So that's great production from the secondary. We get Offensive Rookie of the Year going to LaMarcus Norman. Defensive Rookie of the Year going to Dwayne Larimore. So our 2 superstars have put themselves in position to be Red Boys come the end of this season. I gotta be honest, I did not see 40 touchdowns coming from Spencer Rattler. I thought this was very much going to be one of those offenses that might have a specific ceiling. We get a win. This team is like the ugly, the ugly duckling. I don't know how we're doing it, but we are doing it. Rattler, he just must not be good. Like every game that we've simmed and looked immediately after, he's either not hit a dev trade scenario or it's a playoff game where he's going under 200. How does he have 40 touchdowns? Are we just missing all the good games? Alvin Kamara turns the clock back defensively. Got a couple sacks. Got a pick. Great performance. We got a freaking player of the week, Kalen Saunders. Talked about preseason, the weak link on the defense, showing up when it matters in the playoffs. Well, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that, as an Eagle fan, historically, Saints have been an annoying matchup. I'll never forget when Deuce McAllister ran all over us, even though the only thing everyone remembers from that game was Reggie Bush dying. As we unfortunately slip up 1 score game, 28-25. And I bet you Rattler did nothing. I mean, that's a little bit better. It still had the turnover. But what I am definitely noticing is our defense is very good. As much as I already have discredited Dennis Allen as I think one of the, a bottom 5 coach in the league, his defense here is working its ass off and keeping us in a lot of these games. And I think the rankings here. Do we see our rankings? I still see them? Never mind. I take that back. His defense is dogs. They were really good at the halfway point. Like, I think we had the number 8 defense in the league at the halfway point of the year. And then they fell off a goddamn cliff. Come on, Dennis Allen. Oh, man. Even though we resigned him, not enough to convince Demario Davis. They come back for 1 more year. Much like last year we lost Cam Jordan. That's a big loss for the Saints defense. Let's look here live. I got Larry Moore, who got his award win. I mean, you could see he'd have the indicator there if he became an X Factor. So unfortunately, nothing on Larry Moore, even though he wins Rookie of the Year. What about you, Mr. Norman? Please be in it. Give me at least one X Factor. I mean, the rich are just trying to become richer at this point. But I don't know, man. You should go up depth trait, I'd say much more than 50% of the time when you win this award. The fact that we got 2 and not 1 went up, it's a little bit of a bummer. But in closing, for our squad, Michael Mayer jumps up to a superstar. Spencer Rattler jumps up to a star dev. We lose the dev trade on Alvin Kamara, but that was kind of always expected. But I think Treylon Burks was solid enough this year. I will try to throw a contract offer his way. Defensively, Alontae Taylor goes from normal up to a star, and he needs a contract. Chase Young is now an X Factor. I mean, he had a good year. I don't necessarily think he had an X Factor year, but I am not going to complain about that. Larimore keeps his dev trait, but obviously a big miss now, losing our X Factor linebacker, Demario Davis. Look at that contract. We're actually not going to pick up the 5th-year option on Breezy. I'd rather pay him next year. Treylon Burks, the price has gone up. Yesterday's price is not today's price, according to his agent. So we'll see. You know, it's not the end of the world. We can't bring him back, but we'll see if we can get him on a 3-year 27, which we do. And lastly, I want Mr. Alontae Taylor. Lock you in for the rest of the rebuild. 3-year, $10 million, absolute bargain. Going to free agency, we need a running back, a left guard, 2 linebackers, but at least 1 middle linebacker and a D tackle. There is nothing at any of those other positions. There are some running backs. Isaiah Pacheco's here, but he wants $13 million a year. One of my favorite running backs. Sucks that he's on the Chiefs, but you have to admit, he's a very fun player to watch. Do we want to pay him, though? That is the ultimate question. I don't think we can. Our offense is always going to be pass first. We've built an offense that is clearly with Olave, Norman, and Spencer Rattler. I will draft a running back, say in the first round. There's an absolute stud there, but I don't think we can pay $13 million a year to a running back, even if he's good. I'm not overly interested in Algier or Dameon Pierce. Psych, Florida Gator bias. It's like $5 million a year. And he's going to be developing and getting better every year for the remainder of this rebuild. Still, could probably look for a speedier option, maybe if one presents itself in the draft. All right, so at pick 25 in the first round, we have some needs. We need guard, we need defensive tackle, we need a linebacker. Could potentially look for a running back. And we got some decent scouting here at safety, but I'm not overly worried about where our safety room's at, especially after handing out a contract to Alontae Taylor. So, looking at guard, didn't have crazy scouting, but look at that. We got Manning, who's a first rounder, 2nd, 3rd pick. We have Vincent in the 3rd round. That is probably going to be our best value there, but either one of those guys is solid. Manning, 3A. Ooh, that's probably a dev trait. What about Vincent? Do you have 3 A's? 2 A's, but one of those is in pass block. Bench press, not the best, but I think we should roll on the value there potentially. Now, we need D tackle. That is probably our biggest need. And I don't love the D tackles that are available, to say the least. Like, we get a finesse move here on Weaver, but he's your classic sub 300-pound D tackle. Doesn't have the elites that you like to look for. We got Davis here. He had the double A, I believe. Yeah, A tackle, A block shed, C's. But he's 297. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not over the moon here. Honestly, the guard's our best bet. Go with the best guard, Sean Manning. Not a sexy pick, but it'll be a likely day 1 starter. Take that Trevor Penning spot at left guard, solidify the offensive line. And what do we got? Number 11 in true value at 25 with the dev trade. That's a win. Man, I wish, though, we had a better D tackle class. So we're going to pass on D tackle. Demario Davis just retired, so we need a linebacker, and Perry Mentor looks pretty good. A pursuit, A tackle, B zone, B block shed, the combine. Not elites, but greats. 4.59 at his pro day, which was first for outside linebackers. Top 5, 3-cone drill. I mean, I feel pretty decent about this pick. Might not have a dev trait, but I bet you he's going to be like 70, 374th with those letter grades. If I had to imagine. And what do we get? Number 27 in true value at 57. And we get a dev trait. Anytime you get a dev trait on a non-easy layup combine performer, feels pretty good. First kind of look at BPA. Austin Massey, A catching B man. Still on the board here in the 3rd round. And a 4.37 at his pro day. Second best vertical jump. This is going to be clearly just blind picking. That's not. Here's another one. A little bit of a reach, but he's the most athletic running back available. First in the 3-cone, 2nd in the 20-yard shuttle. Top 10, almost top 5 at the combine. Could be an absolute reach. I don't know. This is what happens when you blind pick. Hey, don't debate. That's all right. Number 90 in true value for a UDFA grade. And we get the dev trait. Let's go. So we didn't get the D tackle roll that we would have loved to see. Massey, the corner, 68's a bummer. 70 on Moses, the hidden dev. 5th round, we got Burnett at tight end. 72 blocking. Get you big time strength cert by bench press tight ends when you can. But the big hits of this class, Mentor in the 2nd round, great letter grades, decent combine, 74 hidden dev. And just saying, screw it, grab the unsexy good guard. That's going to be a day 1 starter here in Manning. All right, so we're at the midway point of view number 3, week 11, and we're 4-5. Offensively, our rankings are god-awful. Everything sucks. Where's the 40? Where's the 4? He has 15. He's on, I mean, I mean, technically, if he plays even slightly better, the second out, he will go like 30, optimistically, like 31, 32, which is not a huge regression, but man, oh man, why are we taking a step back here, fellas? To a disgusting amount of salary cap, tough decisions need to be made. Thank you for everything, Alvin Kamara, but we gotta move on. Ryan Ramchick, he might retire, but I mean, we'll throw him a 2-year deal. Okay, of course, everyone wants to jump off this sinking ship. Didn't pick up the 5th-year option for Brian Breezy, but it worked out well as we got him at like 17 mil a year for the next 3. Able to get Michael Mayer here on a 3-year 34, which we do. Great trade with the Raiders. Said Marshon Lattimore a 2-year deal so we can finish this rebuild as a Saint. We have a 5-year, $154 million for the best player in this rebuild so far. I think by a considerable amount. I mean, Brian Breezy on the defense has been an absolute stud, but Olave has been playing like a borderline top 5 wide receiver. All right, Ryan Ramchick doesn't take this offer. I think we gotta. Oh, okay. Pressure was on. Lights were on. He folded. 7-10, the 9 seed. Damn. And offensively, pretty sizable regression. I mean, the passing offense yards per game wasn't brutal, but I guarantee we're nowhere near the 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns we got with Spencer Rattler. Oh my God. And the interceptions are back up again. Like what we played, we got 4 or 5 touchdowns in like the first week last season. So even subtract that and we say you got 0. He still finished the year with 35 touchdowns and 11 picks. What happened? The team's only got better. And we're not in like the same case with the Kyler Murray Arizona Cardinal rebuild where like Kyler was now regressing. We got Rattler playing like it. I do think what I'm going to try to do for sure is I should have done it last year. We are 100% getting a QB guru offensive coordinator so we can get +3 to short, medium, deep, and throw power. I think it's only +2 to throw power now, but that should, give him +2, +3 to his base overall and help him next year in year 4. But I think we got to stick with it. And, maybe it's a little bit of a hot and cold offense. And maybe next year we'll bounce right back and have 40 touches. I hope so. Looking elsewhere, run game, non-existent. Brutal. Love Norman and Olave both going over 1,000 yards. At worst, should maintain their dev trait. Same with Michael Mayer, 600 yards, 7 touchdowns. It's pretty decent. Not a great year from Treylon Burks. Perry Mentor, the new Demario Davis, as a rookie. 145 tackles, 14 TFLs, 1 sack, 1 pick. The dev trait is, I think, a star, but playing like that with numbers like that should be an absolute lock for Defensive Rookie of the Year and a superstar dev trait. Where'd our sacks go? Everything is down. Chase Young, 20 TFL, 6 sacks. Overall, pretty good year. Brian Breezy's been getting doubled it, and now he's getting 3. Now he just... So we get the Defensive Rookie of the Year going to Perry Mentor, and maybe surprisingly, DB of the Year to the Cookie Monster, Alontae Taylor. Oh, we just get the worst Super Bowl of all time. Cool. Oh, he's a block. He's never going to play. But the blocking tight end cheese continues. Blocking tight end, elite strength. I talked about it in my scouting guide. Yep, pretty good. Congrats on being a fullback. You're our new Taysom Hill. But what we got defensively is Mentor with the Defensive Rookie of the Year. What? How old is he? He's 28. God damn it. Alontae Taylor went up to Superstar and then lost them. Oh my God. I'm thinking I should just change it. Nah, I won't do it. We'll keep it the way it is. But man, oh man, that's stupid. But I do think the biggest change we can do is we are going to fire Mr. Scott Anderson, and we are going to go and find Mr. Tarver. All right. That's exactly what I want. Look at that. Bring in QB Guru, and we now have a +4 boost. We finally get the throw power we're looking for. +2 throw power, +3 deep, +3 mid, +3 short, +3 play action. Maybe this is what we need to unlock the best of Spencer Rattler in years 4 and 5. And this is like the tough point of the rebuild. Obviously now maybe a new OC can help us out a little bit, but like where do we need to get better? O-line is good to go. We got stacked at tight end, stacked at receiver, maybe like a game changer at running back, but I just don't know if we're ever gonna even give a running back enough carries to like be a true game changer. We got Rattler now, +4 to his overall, which should help. You look at the defense. I mean, it's absolutely bizarre to suggest that the reigning defensive back of the year is upgradable, but the game has decided that he's not very good, I guess. Upside at pass rush, D tackle for sure, but not a lot of holes. Makes no sense why we regress so badly here in year 3. Love seeing that, man. When you go to free agency and 2 of the top 5 are punters, it's not a good role at all. Look at pass rush. You get Van Ness, some upside there, but is that really going to be a game changer? Do we just try and maybe test our luck in trading up in the draft if we can find a better pass rusher there? D tackle. I mean, Payne ain't bad. 21 a year for a guy that's going to probably regress down to an 80 normal next year. And there's just nothing to say. What a brutal roll. Well, the good news is we kind of have a decent pick. Not too many times in year 3 of a rebuild are we, looking at a top 10-ish pick. And looking at where we want to go. Well, I did scout Nate Farr at pass rush. Did not get information that we really wanted to see. Oh, we got Whitlock at D-tackle. We got Fuller at D-tackle. That's going to be our pick, I think. Unless this guy's a stud. Max Trapp has a power move. The combine's dog shit. All right, well, we'll trust our board. We got Xavier Fuller, first-round talented D-tackle, B power move, A tackle, 6'2", 316, big-time athlete. First in the 3-cone drill, elite acceleration, top 3 in the 40-yard dash. At 316, he ran a 4.78. Yeah, that'll do, Brian Breezy. Here's your partner in crime, number 19 in true value, so maybe a slight reach, but there's definitely a dev trade on this guy, and he could be a monster. Now, we scouted Matt Patterson here, first, second rounder. Legit. You got B-man coverage, A hit power. I just hate the idea of replacing Alontae Taylor because he lost dev trade. He's playing really well. You know, what's the point of if you just give up on those guys right away? I remember we had a fast Spellman or Swinton. One of the S's. Swansonite, Mary Swansonite. It was this guy. Elite speed. Pretty good. I think I think we got to go with who we scouted, the safety. I mean, if Oladipo's already showing signs of regression, it's probably not the worst thing to have a contingency plan behind him. 31 in true value for Matt Patterson, getting him at pick 44. No dev trait, though. But we're not really in a position to complain. We've had great rolls, great drafts so far with a lot of devs. We were bound to get a good player that was just a normal. We're just going to blind pick one of the best athletes I've seen at the running back spot ever, Sammy Streeter. That's actually not a bad pick. Now, just because we're blind picking, does a generational kicker in the 4th round get people off their seats? Don Anthony, A, kick accuracy, A, awareness, elite kick power. He is absolutely going to be probably top 5 at worst in true talent, if I had to guess. And we got the #1 player. And he's a swag. Look at him. Looking like Snoop Dogg. I think I had that exact same outfit in Saints Row 2. Cap off an absolute nothing year here in year 3 with a pretty good draft across couple whiffs. Now they get a 71 punter, but look at the kicker. 79 hidden dev kicker. 71 on Streeter for late round pick, but that is just elite athleticism. 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 94 agility. Patterson, while normal dev, I will take a 74 overall, not the end of the world, but Fuller is a big get. That is going to be a day 1 starter at D tackle with really, really good stats. Big time athlete. I'm just curious to be the #1 player. Like, how bad of a draft it is. What did the Cardinals just get? Brett Felix, 79 quarterback, 94 throw power, 85 short, 86 throw on the run, 95 speed. So they just got better Kyler Murray. That is probably the most overpowered QB I've seen generated. And I've seen a couple of 80s that didn't have stats that look like that. All right, maybe we'll put a little pressure on ourselves here going into year 4. Make the playoffs. I'm glad the fellas are taking it seriously because we are too good of a team. 89 overall to be going and battling and fighting tooth and nail around a 500 record. Now, 5-2 is a hot start. Got a top 10 offense, top 5 passing offense. So maybe, just maybe, bringing in the QB guru is helping out all Spencer Rattler. Looking at some contracts here. Who wants to make the full rebuild? I believe we have to pay Rattler. Oh, that is a lot of money. I mean, we've been kind of playing it. So we got McCoy at center. Don't want him going anywhere. Really, really solid, reliable offensive lineman. Can play multiple positions. Obviously, Kool-Aid McKinstry, a homegrown player. 5-year. He wants a little more. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue to meet him halfway. We got Cesar Ruiz. Okay, guess he's going to be an asshole about it. No more beating around the bush. What does Spencer Rattler want? We're going to hit him with a player-friendly 6-year, $323 million. Oh, that's gross for a guy that struggled last year to go over 25 touchdowns. I think the only good news, as we try to just inch our way to get these guys to sign, is the free agency has been awful. Awful. There hasn't been one guy that made me go, that'd be a great signing for us to have. Maybe Pacheco, but we were very quickly priced out of that one. So I'd rather spend our money on in-house guys than try to save it and get a garbage roll of free agents again. Very happy that we go 12-5 and we're the 2 seed. What I don't like is how unpredictable this is. This is an entirely different team than what we saw last year. So what team? I'm going to be optimistic. We can go on a run. Clearly, with this rating, we are one of the strongest teams on paper in the NFL, at least in the NFC side of the bracket. But we know how bad and underperforming we were last year. So if things don't go our way, the Saints have proven to be inconsistent enough that like we could go 7-10 year 5 and it wouldn't be shocking. But hopefully we're turning a corner here as a franchise, 12-5, as we win for the very first time. Year 4, better late than never, our first NFC South title. So statistically, I mean, rather still off the mark of that 40 touchdown performance, but yards are good, top 5 in passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 picks. You can win with that. Maybe not $320-some million return on investment, but that's not bad. Dameon Pierce absolutely ate as a touchdown merchant, which we will take. Receiving 110 catches, almost 1,500 yards, 6 tutties for Olave, 1,011 from Norman, 7 and almost 800 yards and 9 touchdowns from Michael Mayer, who's established himself as a fringe top 5 tight end, if not outright. Defensively, Perry Mentor didn't quite have the 145 tackles. I think our defense was better, just wasn't on the field as much. 109 tackles is pretty good. 23 TFLs, 12 sacks from Chase Young. It's a great year. 24 TFLs, 8 sacks from Brzee. 10 TFL, 7.5 sacks from the rookie Fuller. Granderson, not too bad. But Fuller for a first-round pick. Superstar dev, let's go. And with those numbers, I'm going to guess probably a top candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year and a potential dev trade increase. And as much as I've been on Dennis, I will say, man, his defense gets pretty good interception numbers across the board. Matt Patterson, the rookie with normal dev, wasn't the most exciting pick, but 3 interceptions. He's pretty much stepped in and performed at the same level that Alontae Taylor was. Well, if Chase Young's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year, I'll definitely be all right with Cooper DeJean winning it. And yes, Xavier Fuller does get Defensive Rookie of the Year. We had first and second place for that award. There's that Chase Young bringing home some hardware, winning D Lineman of the Year in the NFC. Brian Breezy at number 3. In the first round of the playoffs, we take our sleeper quarterback of the 2024 class and go up against the quarterback of the 2024 class. It is Rattler going against Caleb Williams and the 9-8 Chicago Bears. Ooh, that's a dub. Not only is that a dub, that's a Caleb Williams Player of the Week dub. We're very hungry as the 2 seed. We got Green Bay. I know what, I'll show Green Bay enough respect ahead of this matchup that I will auto upgrade my players. So make sure we put the best guys on the field as our starting tight end and slot wide receiver Burks. Get some love, some TLC. Green Bay 11-6, top 5 offense, top 3 rushing offense, top 10 rushing defense. But luckily we do not run the football. You're gonna have to stop this air raid. Oh baby, we get the win. It's a rivalry matchup to go to the Super Bowl. Player of the Week performance from Norman. Rushing touchdown, 3, the hat trick. They put a whooping on the Packers, 35-21. 2 touchdowns, no picks, a clean performance by Spencer Rattler. We got gimmicky, 3 rushing touchdowns on the day. Norman, unstoppable, the superstar out of Louisville. Defensively, maybe not our best performance, but we got a pick and a sack, and sometimes that's all you need. And the Saints here in year 4 are in the NFC Championship game against the Atlanta Falcons. You know what? I think it's time to get a front row seat and just see what this 92 overall squad can do. Who's their quarterback? They probably... There's no way they got Desmond Ridder back, and that's their quarterback. Desmond Ridder got released by the Cardinals, ends up going back to the Falcons. Oh, man. We got to win. That's embarrassing. Come on, fellas. Here we go. 7-7 ball game. Defense not playing super hot. Feels like every time Atlanta gets the ball, there's 7 going up on the board. Yep, that's pretty much been the case. I will say, even though, oh my God, you can see, look right there. You can't go 14-21, give the ball to Atlanta, and have them score with 28 seconds left in the first half. And our defense, that's been so good, is just like, nah, we're just not getting stops here today, boss. All right, we got one more year to go, but that is an embarrassing defensive performance against Spencer fucking Rattler. And there's no silver lining. It's no like, oh, at least we lost to the team that went on and won they're in our own division. Super Bowl champions in our own division. We lost and let Desmond Ridder go win a Super Bowl for the Atlanta Falcons. That is disgusting. So going into our final year to get better, we had a retirement with Ryan Ramczyk, so we do at least need a right tackle. Michael Mayer up to an X Factor. Spencer Rattler up to a superstar. Defensively, double superstar. Larimore up to an X Factor. Patterson, the normal dev rookie, up to a star. So, I mean, we need a D-end and a right tackle. And we have about $50 million of salary cap to figure it out. So what you do when you're in year 5 is you go get guys that want to chase a ring. At tackle, Laramie Tunsil's going to come in, even at 34 years old. Still a superstar, plug and play at right tackle. We got Hassan Reddick. Great rotational pass rusher. Get out there right now at 33. Should be a big-time player on the other side of Chase Young. All right, so we're in our final draft. There's literally not one first-round pick that is going to make a difference. The only way someone could potentially is if we get a good running back. And Broyles is the ultimate blind pick. He's a first-round projected running back. And he's a big-time athlete, second in the 40-yard dash, 4.36 at his pro day, 3-cone, 20-yard shuttle. Look awesome. Don't know if he's going to be a true game changer. But that's me, you know, again, I don't ever want my year 5 drafts, my final drafts, to have that much of an impact over my rebuilds. Because if it does, it means mistakes were made along the way. I like this, you know, year 5 is usually the flex that I can draft really good at the game. But I guess we could use a change of pace back if I'm looking at the roster. And this is the ultimate blind pick. And we get the #1 pick. Let's go. I drafted the best athlete. I went and said, let's get the fastest guy that... All right. I'll take that. That is the ultimate blind pick so far here in Madden 25. Because nothing... I mean, obviously, we didn't have any letter grades. If we had more scouted in the running backs, maybe we know he's an absolute beast. But just drafted the guy that was the fastest and the most agile. And it worked out really, really well. So that's not too bad, man. Playoff caliber team getting back-to-back year. We had a 73 linebacker. Back-to-back years, even though last year was a kicker. The #1 player in the draft. And Broyles looks really freaking good. 78 overall. Big-time speed. Great compliment to Dameon Pierce. And I'm not going to lie, for the vibes, I might make him our starter here for year 5. All right, so here we go. This is our Saints team through 5 years of rebuilding in Madden 25. Committing with Spencer Rattler. I mean, he's developed, like, honestly, as good as, like, I don't think Drake May was that much better by the end of year 5 in our Patriots rebuild. Spencer Rattler as a alternative. If you are going out there and you want to play a Saints franchise, you don't have to stick with Derek Carr. It can work out with Rattler. Definitely helped that we drafted a superstar tight end, made a trade for Michael Mayer, who developed into a superstar very quickly, but it can be done. We're going to go with Broyles as our starting running back, even though Pierce is an 87. He'll still be out there as our power back, but I think Broyles offers us a little bit more juice. And, you know, a receiver, another passing option for Spencer Rattler out there. Olave has been incredible in this rebuild. I'm very excited at the end of this year to look at his, you know, where his stats are at in his career, because I think they're going to be some pretty big-time numbers. Tunsil, we signed a free agent. He goes to right tackle. And that gives us, in my opinion, the best offensive line in the league. So I have no issues or worries about my offense, especially if they played like they did last year. Defensively, did not end the season well. Did not end the season like a... Where's Hassan Reddick? Why would you do that? And someone else signed him. The same CPU that took Alontae Taylor from DB of the Year Superstar and made him to normal just cuts my starting pass rusher, my big free agent. Okay. Well, it's not a deal breaker for our defense. Babineau is, what, 6 overall points less than Reddick. So it is still a loss. But let's be honest, we know Reddick was going to be very much the 4th best pass rusher on this team. And we're going to go through Young, Fuller, and Breezy. Secondary still very good across the board. We got 2 absolute studs at linebacker. So, you know, I can't believe that the CPU did that. We finished out year 5 playing at a pretty good level, 12-5, so it's not like we're some juggernaut, but for a 90 overall squad, that's probably right where they should be. The #2 offense in the NFL, top 10 passing offense, top 10 defense, so complimentary football. We win our 2nd NFC South title, 12-5. Packers, wow. All right. 3 seed. Would be nice to have that first round bye. Look at the stats. Spencer Rattler, pretty good. Top 10 in passing yards, top 3 in passing touchdowns. 4,100 yards, 36 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. He's come a long way as far as protecting the football. Nothing too crazy running the ball. As you can see, you know, Dameon Pierce kind of vultured. Broyles #1 pick. What's his depth chart? Superstars. Love that. Nice little hit in year 5 draft. You'll always take that, even though you don't need it. Olave continues to be an absolute machine. 114 catches, 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns, 865 and 9 from Burks, 6 and 6 from Norman. Disappointing season from him. 11 touchdowns from Michael Mayer. Continues to be one of the best in the business. Mentor with 100 tackles, 11 TFLs, 8.5 sacks from Fuller, 7.5 on 20. So Chase Young is just a TFL machine in this game. 20 TFLs for Brian Brzee. We got interception numbers are fine. Probably the worst that they've been to date, but we'll take it. Spencer Rattler in top 5 voting for MVP. Came a long way. Unfortunately, we had no award winners, so kind of looking at the stats of what these Saints players have been able to accomplish in their career and in this 5-year rebuild. Spencer Rattler, 20,000 yards passing, 163 touchdowns to 58 picks. Pretty good pace, honestly, all things considered. a true successor to Drew Brees. We might have found one. Rushing numbers obviously haven't really had a consistent running back. Chris Olave, 651 catches, 9,300 yards, and 50 touchdowns in 6 seasons. Big time. Treylon Burks did most of that with us because he was a bust with the Titans. 3,700 yards, 37 touchdowns for Norman. So he's averaging, through 3 years, really good numbers. Michael Mayer, 3,400 yards with 44 touchdowns. Really happy with those numbers. Defensively, Lattimore leads the team, 698 tackles, has 31 interceptions. We got 52.5 sacks on 121 TFLs for Chase Young, who definitely has made the most of his career, played better for us than he did with the Niners or the Commanders. 42.5 sacks for Brian Brzee, 16 from Fuller. I mean, his career is just starting off on a great note. He's going to be a big-time player. 31 picks, Lattimore, 18 for Adebo, 12 for the Cookie Monster, and 7 from Kool-Aid McKinstry. Getting a little late in the day, but I probably could have enough time to take this to a 6th year in overtime if we wanted to. Had to take the old kid. We went to glow-in-the-dark mini pot, and guess who got 2 hole-in-ones? Not the flex. Guess who also, the basketball game where you pick the real basketball and you shoot at the hoop and eventually move? High score. High score right here, which is very impressive. I suck at basketball. Anyways, I'm in a good mood. We can go to overtime if we somehow blow this. But we got to run the gauntlet. We start out nice. 35-21 over the Cardinals. Decent performance by Spencer Rattler. 3 touchdowns by Dameon Pierce. I love that 1-2 punch we have in our backfield. Oh, that's a tough roll. I mean, I don't like playing the Vikings. I feel like on any given week, McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, they're the team that got Pacheco. It's going to be a rough one. Okay. Cool. How do we do that? We played defense. 24-16 shut down. Ooh, 2 picks on McCarthy. Love to see that be Lattimore and somebody. And it's Mentor and Lattimore. Let's go. The bracket looks as such. Back in the NFC Championship game, we have the 1 seed Green Bay Packers. On the other side, the Chiefs have already been eliminated. The Ravens are like the mini Chiefs from that side. You don't ever like to see them, but there's no Chiefs. This is a great roll for us. We can handle business against Green Bay. For the NFC Championship game, we got the 13-4 Green Bay Packers. Top 5 offense, top 5 defense. Very much a legit team here. Again, we'll give them the respect, making sure my players are fully upgraded. The safety, Beverly. Watch this Beverly get a pick. But I will commit right now, because I just want to sim this one. If we lose, we'll go 1 more year. Green Bay, man, have you guys been oh no. Have you guys been noticing? Oh, we win 35-10. Why does it go to that screen? That's 100% the exact screen you get when you lose. It wasn't even, of course, we got Baltimore. 30, wasn't even competitive. 5 touchdowns, Spencer Rattler. Let's go. We got another 2 picks on Love. Oh my God, the hat trick for Michael Mayer. They could not cover the big dude in the red zone. Interceptions, Lattimore and Adebo, the veterans, getting the job done. And in year 5, the Saints are in the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens. Here we have it. The Ravens, ugly record, good team. Better team than their record. Top 10 offense, number 2 rushing offense, top 10 defense, number 3 passing defense. That is a worry. Play some offense in this Super Bowl, and we'll bring it home. So here we go. Spencer Rattler against the 2-time NFL MVP. Ravens are, well, I mean, maybe if the Eagles were in the AFC, I'd hate them more. I just feel like, unless you are in their division, you got to respect the Ravens. They do it the right way. They draft well. They do free agency well. They develop well. But now it's unfortunately our time to just dump 35 points on their ass. First play, I want to see this Bros guy. What's this guy got under the tank? Oh! That's garbage. Let's go right here. Michael Mayer, hat trick of touchdowns in the NFC Championship game. And what do I see here? We got a little icon under Spencer Rattler's up to an X Factor, huh? Only took 5 seasons, but you pay the man his money. Ooh, we get the speedster out in space, but you pay him a $300 million and he starts playing like an X Factor. Of sending the running back out of the backfield in this playbook, which Again, makes more sense to have Broyles as our starter. Make that cut. Oh. Not what we needed. Hunt, your side of the field. You are prolific. You are a legend. Win on the cut, and there's just... Fuaga is not blocking today. Another 3rd and long. Do not want to be living in 3rd and long against the Ravens. However, it's kind of been the case. Go for it. I should be bringing Dameon Pierce out here. 4th and inches. We go to the 1st round pick. And we recover. Oh my God. Why? Why is it this hard? Why? No safety. I'm going to close my eyes and we're going to throw this right up to Olave. He's going to win. Our line's got to hold up. And they just got the fastest wide receiver of all time? I mean, okay, it's Nate Wiggins. He's a baller. All right, looking for like our 2nd completion of the game. Come on. Who wants it? B. Oh, middle of the field. We go to Norman. Finally, something. 1st and goal. Need Olave to win. We got Burks. We got Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer, proven red zone threat. I wish it wasn't a good ball. Do we just say screw this and tuck it and run ourselves? It's brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Stick. There we go. We're getting a slant at the top. There's 2 guys on him. Double team. Don't love that. Still throw it. That's what you do when you're frustrated. Defense gets us another stop. Come on, man. I just want to complete a pass. He's in the thumbnail. Why is he playing like dog shit? I'll give the CPU a drive. Oh, and then we turn it over again. No, it was just never meant to be, I don't think. I mean, I'll come in here again, but I don't see it. Got superstar wide receivers can't get open. Getting locked down by fucking linebackers. There we go. That's what we need. Can our defense continue to play well? Oh, we're going to turn over. Oh, let's go. Costco, guys. Give that a boom. Defense, another stop. I love this defense. Olave wins. You got to fit that to the sideline. What a grab. Let's go, bros. Oh, that's what we need. Big time speed. Keep this clock rolling. I think we're in a great spot to kick a field goal, but you'd love to get a touchdown. They're just letting the clock roll here. Okay, Harbaugh. You're going to let us score. Which could, I mean, that was easy. But the way our defense has played, I got faith that they are going to get us a fumble recovery in overtime with a chance to go win it. We just got to go 97 yards, on our 3. Okay. Good start. 3rd and 3, we score, it's over. I'm not gonna lie, 4 down territory, if I gotta be honest with you. We got it right there, boom. Chris Olave, we got a generational kicker too, we're already in field goal range. All right, we got 3rd and 8 in field goal range. You want to win it with a tutty. Nothing risky, though. Eat a sack if we have to. I will not throw an interception on this play. Eat the sack, kick the field goal, win the Super Bowl. This is why you draft generational kickers. I don't care if they ice me. When you get the #1 overall player in the draft, and it's a kicker, it's for moments like this. And the New Orleans Saints in year 5, Super Bowl or bust, rely on a generational kicker to get us a Super Bowl. The confetti falls, and at least we finally have answered the question, who will be the first true successor in New Orleans to Drew Brees? And it's Spencer Rattler, who took a lot of growing pains the first couple years, but eventually developed into an X-Factor quarterback who, while inconsistent, the offense that we're able to cultivate around him with superstar and X-Factor talent and an elite offensive line and drafting the #1 rookie here in year 5 in the running back, but a huge Super Bowl performance. All of those things together make this go down as a very successful rebuild. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, as I said at the very beginning of the video, I am working on a college football Georgia Tech rebuild. I am working on our college football offensive coordinator dynasty. We'll have another episode of the Vikings franchise. It's just the last week of summer, so basically the old kiddos want to do something. I'm giving them priority, so the uploads might be a little inconsistent for the next 7 days or so, but then once that, we're back to school, and it's going to be hopefully daily uploads. But with that being said, here in a Madden 25 rebuild, let me know in the comment section below which team you guys want to see rebuilt next, and we will do the most requested squad. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscriber button, as we're very close to 175,000 subscribers on the channel. It's my birthday Saturday. It would be pretty cool to hit that. It's a lofty goal, but you never know. Hit the like button for the YouTube robots if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya, have a good one.